Call to order and welcome each of you to the December 20th, 2021 Wilson County Commission meeting. I'll go ahead and get a Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year underway. And at this time, I'm going to call on Miss Sonia Robinson for our prayer and pledge tonight.
Butch Baker has spent 42 years in the music business. He started as a writer for Acuff Rose Publishing. He has been on 4 major record labels, has run 4 major publishing companies, and currently runs and is a partner with Horror Global Publishing. He's married to the beautiful wife, his wife Nancy, that have 3 awesome children, and is a longtime resident of Wilson County. He attends Gladeville United Methodist Church and is the chaplain for the city of Berry Hill. Butch has one of the most beautiful voices that I have ever heard. And it's an honor for me that he accepted my invitation to say our prayer and pledge tonight on this Christmas week, but it's more of a blessing for me to say I call him friend.
You guys know how it is. When she asks you to do it, you say yes.
Get it done.
Mr. Mayor, commissioners, and distinguished guests, if you were within the sound of my voice, let us pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for all the blessings you bestowed on us, the ones we see and the ones we don't see. I pray that your hand be on this meeting tonight and every member, and let the decisions made be those that would be pleasing to you, Lord. Lord, also thank you for the reason for this season. Your Son giving his life for our sins. Dear God, continue to lead, guide, and direct us. Let us be your hands and feet. Let us show your face. And we pray it all in the matchless name of your Son, Jesus. And every person here said, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. You will now please press yes to record your presence at tonight's meeting. Are we good? Yeah. 20 present and 5 absent. Report from the steering committee. Commissioner Patton.
Yes, the steering committee met on Thursday, December the 9th in the County Commission meeting room. The minutes are in your packet. I move that they be received and filed.
So move.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed? Adoption of the agenda.
Motion to accept the agenda.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And consent agenda.
Motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
We'll need to vote on this one, Mike, since there's money involved. If you're ready to vote, please cast your vote.
No. There we go.
Commissioner Stafford? All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 20 yes, 5 absent, resolution passes. There is no public hearing tonight, no special recognition to my knowledge either tonight. And report from the Minutes Committee, Commissioner Bishop.
The Minutes Committee met at 5:40 on December the 9th, 2021, in the Commissioner Room with all committee members present. Some corrections were made to the minutes with the final product being mailed in your packets. I make a motion for this report to be received and filed.
So move.
I got a motion and a second now. Commissioner Stafford.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, I made several votes, and I only meant to vote no on the redistricting. All my other votes, I wanted them to be yes, and I made a mistake, and I'd like to, well, I can't change it, but I'd like to make it be known that the only vote no that I had was for the redistricting.
That can be placed in tonight's minutes.
Okay, great, thank you.
Any other discussion on the minutes? All in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed? Reading of the minutes?
Make a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed? At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Brad Lytle with the Wilson County Republican Party. He was going to speak from the back here. Commissioner Gentry and Commissioner Franklin had asked that we allow the conversation. Why don't you come up front if you would like to? Just because it's election day and election time and new rules are in place. Right.
Thank you, Mayor Hutto, and commissioners, guests. I wanted to be here tonight to wish you all a Merry Christmas and great happy holidays, and to remind you that there's something new on the election calendars this year, which is pulling your petitions, which started today, and to let you know that those need to be returned in no later than February 17th. And that's it. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas. And thank you for all your service. Public service is sometimes thankless, but it's what makes this country so great. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brad. Okay. I have really no comments beside if you have any issues with the debris pickup or tornado damage in your area and you need help, give our office a call, and we can work with that with Recover Wilson. Has helped us a lot. I know Lauren has been on that call many times. Our district was hit, and I've got some other people that had some issues there. And that's really all I've got. Any notaries to be added, Stouty? Notary list was passed out. Do I hear a motion to approve the notaries? Motion approved. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, and opposed? Ag Extension Committee, there you are to elect 4 members to serve a 2-year term on the Ag Extension Committee. The Extension Director, Lucas Holman, has recommended the following to be reelected: Commissioner Jerry McFarland, Commissioner Tommy Jones, Ms. Christina McKee, and Mr. Jack Sims. Information about these were in your packet. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
I got a motion and a second. Any discussion on these? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed? Planning Commission, you are to confirm my appointment of 4 members to serve on a 4-year term of the Wilson County Planning Commission. Upon your confirmation, I'd like to appoint Commissioner Terry Ash, Ms. Margaret Dixon, Mr. John Jewell, and Mr. Eric Thompson. Information about these were in your packet.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed? E911 board member, the passing of Ms. Lenita Howard has left a vacancy there in the 911 board. Their board has asked and may have one to speak on it tonight, not for sure, but they would like to appoint for the replacement her husband, Mr. Bobby Howard, to fill this unexpired term to May of 22. This candidate information was in your packet, and Commissioner Ash, anything you'd like to say to this?
Motion to approve, unanimous by the board.
Okay. Any? So to hear a motion?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. He was saying it was unanimous vote by the board to do that. And so I got a motion and a second. You good with that? You good? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed? Okay. And judicial commissioners, I will turn the floor over to Mr. Commissioner William Glover.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Make a motion. At this time, we would ask that you all vote in favor of appointing Mr. Michael Reyes as a part-time judicial commissioner. He has interviewed with our office, and he has been presented to the Judicial Committee. They have voted unanimously to recommend him to this commission, and we would ask for your vote for Michael Reyes tonight.
Any discussion?
Let me just say, this is for, as an at-will employee for a term not to exceed a year.
Yes, on a part-time, yes, sir.
Thank you, Mike.
Any other discussion on this matter? All in favor say aye. And opposed? Let the record reflect it was unanimous.
Thank you,
so
ladies and
much.
gentlemen. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Report from Urgent Management Committee, Commissioner Glover.
We have two sets of minutes, November 9th and also December 6th. Move these be received and filed.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. And opposed? Diversion Management Director's report, Director Cooper.
Thank you, Mayor, County Commission. Reports in your packet. So far, year-to-date, total calls is 17,814. Pretty much normal from last year around this time. Our COVID numbers as far as active are maintaining in the 400 range for the last few months. So we're doing pretty good in containing that here for the moment. Next Monday, we will be helping to move the health department from College Hills back to the health department. So any vaccines or testing come Monday will be done at the health department. Of course, after I turned in my report on Friday night, Saturday morning, we had 2 tornadoes come through. Both were classified as EF1s, one in the Saundersville Ferry area, and then one through Chandler Point to Willoughby Station. We had other areas with damage, 5 Oaks, the Forest, Philadelphia Road, and Hamilton Chambers area. All those were classified as straight line winds. As the mayor said, Recover Wilson and Red Cross will probably be out tomorrow in all those areas, helping citizens, and also Reach Out Worldwide. We'll be doing tree cleanup in those areas until Thursday. And like normal, they'll put all the tree debris and all that out next to the road for the public works guys and all them to pick up. The packet was turned in to TEMA today to determine a declaration. As far as the county, we will probably not reach that threshold, but as a cumulative effort with all of Middle Tennessee, we may hit that. So I'm awaiting that information now. Total damages, we had 163 damage reports. 133 of those were affected with 10% or less. 27 of those with 25% damage, and 3 at 50% damage or more, which is major. Most of those were residential. We did have 2 manufactured homes, 3 public buildings. And a further breakdown, as far as the county, we had 26 recorded. City of Lebanon had 15. Mount G had 121 recorded damages. Other than that, happy holidays, and that concludes my report.
Got a motion and a second. Now, Commissioner Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Director, for your report. One question and one question only I'm going to ask you every month. How many employees are we down?
5 more, so right now, a total of 26.
So we're at 26.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Breeze.
I just wanted to say thank you to Director Cooper and everyone with WEMA. As you know, my district was hit by the EF1 tornado that went across the Crosswinds area. I've got 2 families that are displaced. And if you'll bear with me for a minute, I want to specifically thank a few people. First, Daniel Cowan, our EMA planner, who activated the EOC and weather room at 12:30 early Saturday morning to be able to track these storms for our county and keep our people safe. He also had 3 volunteers who are part of the weather team and also the DART team. Julie Hutchinson, DART team leader, Adrian Valenti, and Deanna, please forgive me for butchering this name, Solinsky, who this was the first time that she'd come in and volunteered to help. They manned weather operations through the storm. My family and I climbed in our closet at 3:20 in the morning and got out at 4, and I started sending messages on Facebook to see how my district was doing, and I immediately started sending all that to WEMA. So we were able to get help through incident command really quickly. My phone rang at 5:45 in the morning, and I joined Chief Hobbs, and we did damage assessments all through Willoughby and Mount Vernon Estates and Mount Vernon Woods. I can tell you we got really lucky. There were a few houses that had some significant damage, but I know that there was only one injury. It was somebody who got a cut, and their family took them to the ER, and they had some stitches. So we did really well, and I just want to thank WEMA for everything that they do, along with the Sheriff's Department, who I know is out there as well, the Road Commission, who is out there clearing roads to make sure that the areas were passable to be able to actually get in to do damage assessments, along with Mount Juliet Police, Mount Juliet Fire Department, and anybody else in the community who's helped through this process. We really appreciate it. And thank you very much.
Commissioner Patton?
Yes. Mr. Cooper, how many, excuse me, how many shifts this month have we not had someone at stations? How many shifts have gone unmanned in how many stations?
I don't have that information with me. You can get with me or call me and I can determine a number, but
for the last 2-3 months, we've had open stations because we've had no one to run them, correct? In more than one station in Wilson County.
yes, ma'am. My contingency plan was given out to the county commission.
I just wanted to be sure everyone was aware that that's been in place, and we have been, thank goodness that the tornado or whatever wasn't all over the county, you know, and I mean, not that I wanted it to be anywhere, but I mean, we have to cover all areas of the county. The bottom line, that's what we're here for,
Correct.
to protect all of the citizens of Wilson County.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Commissioner Fields?
Director Cooper, just out of curiosity, what is the cost of installing a tornado siren? I know I live right there by the National Weather Service, and there's not one there. And I just wonder what the cost is to purchase and install one.
Well, there are different prices according on who you go with, and things like that, which some people, we do have a list of personal shelters that people have installed, and we have a spreadsheet with those on it. That way, if anything happens, we know to check those shelters in those particular houses. A lot of businesses have them, but there's probably the only ones that can afford them are the industrial type businesses for their people. But yeah, I mean, we're talking thousands on up to, 50,000, 100,000. I mean, it's just according on how many people.
I know about the shelters. I was just wondering about the siren.
The siren, what are they? They're $30,000 a piece. Yeah.
Commissioner Smith?
Mr. Fields, come see me after. I think I got that number for you. So come see me when you're done. We'll talk about it.
Thank you. You gonna donate one?
What's that? I wish. But I think I know the answer for you. So come see me when we're done.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Thank you, Director Cooper. I did send you an email today from the County Mayors Association where Mike Harrison was talking about the shortage of EMS workers across the state, and they were working on how to see if they could fast track a little quicker the training and numbers there. We also met with Tennessee Board of Regents about 3 weeks ago now, and they talked about the lack of people going into that field. They were also going to try to do something to help people, encourage people to do that type of work as well. So both of those things have been done, just to give you an update on that. Report from the Law Enforcement Committee, Commissioner Rich.
The Law Enforcement Committee met on November the 30th at the Criminal Justice Center. The minutes are in your packet. I make a motion these be received and filed.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed? Sheriff Bryan's report.
Thank you, Mayor, County Commissioners. Your report's in your packet. If you're just looking through the numbers, they're pretty much on par for December. The only thing that sticks out to me is these civil warrants that's been issued every day and we're serving, so them numbers are up during this month every year, so them numbers continue to rise as far as civil papers, evictions, lawsuits, different things like that. So they're staying busy. Inmate work buses, they've been busy. I will let you know that they've been shut down for, they get Christmas holidays off. So we put them up every year about this time just to keep them close to us. And they'll be back out after the first year, and I'll try to get Quentin's out as quick out there as I can. Okay, Quentin? SROs, I was so glad school got out of session Friday, Mr. Luttrell. And we had we've had a few busy weeks out there, and reason I'm saying that, these SROs have been pushed to the limits over the past several weeks, and y'all have seen it on the news. But they're working on it, and we're gonna get tough with these some of the stuff that's going on, and it's not happening in the schools; it's away from the schools. And it's parents that ain't keeping up with the kids. We see it every day, and we're going to try to fix. I don't know if we can fix it, but we can try to slow it down. So they're out there working every day, doing their job, and I really appreciate them. Everything's been said about the tornadoes and the wind damage we had the other night, and I appreciate every agency. Director Cooper and us work close together. We work close with Mountain Jewett, and I ain't going to sit here and name off everybody, but that stuff started going off that night, and I was going, oh, Lord. And but we got lucky, and I'm glad everybody's safe, no serious injuries. And again, I woke up and got in my car, and I hear my patrol cars checking 10-8, Mayor.
10-8.
So I really appreciate them. But they're your county employees. They're out doing their job every day, and I just want to thank them for what they do. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I appreciate everything this entire commission and everybody in leadership roles here have done for the sheriff's office and the people of this county, and look forward to working with you next year, and I'll see you next year.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, Sheriff Bryan. Report from the Education Committee, Commissioner Stafford.
Mr. Chair, fellow commissioners, the Education Committee met December the 9th at 5 p.m. in upstairs conference room. If there are no questions or amendments, I move the minutes be received and filed.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed? Director of Schools report, Mr. Jeff Luttrell.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. You do have my report in your packet. Won't hit all of it, but 2 or 3 things I do want to talk about. We did meet a regular session on December the 6th. Had a very busy slate of stuff to take care of. You can see what action was taken, but I do want to talk under new business. Did approve our bids on furniture and fixtures for Stoner Creek Elementary, and also a roof for Mount Juliet Elementary. Under old business, our land RFPs were open and presented. There's 7 parcels of land. that process now. We're in the process of looking at that land, working with engineers, determining a lot of things. We're hoping that I can bring that to our board in January for them to take action or reject, either one. And then, of course, at some point it will come to you. But there is 7 parcels of land, so thank all the community for participating. We had a lot more participation on these RFPs than we did the month before. So we've got some good parcels of land to look at, determine. And of course, one of the biggest things we'll be looking at is what's the cost to build. I think that's important before we commit to a piece of property. Is what's it going to cost us to get it ready to build as we look at future school growth. But we will get that to you as soon as we have that information and our board takes action on it. Enrollment numbers, 200 new students since 10/18. That's very odd in our business to see that kind of new student enrollment. We're up to 19,570, and you have those numbers where we're at the end of school year, still holding right at 1,050 students more, and we're expecting more here coming in a couple weeks. We start our next semester. Do want to just highlight our early graduates to date. We've graduated 44 students early. 40 of those are from our adult high school that's under the umbrella of Barry Tatum. And that's important. A lot of those are non-traditional students or students that are ready to move on. Some of them to the workforce, but also some of them go to the military with that time frame. So that adult program is very, very important to our county, and just cannot commend that staff enough working with those students. And then sometimes they're non-traditional. They come to us from different places needing that high school diploma. And that adult high school program is a real high school diploma. We still do the GED too, and that's another good service. But just wanted to highlight them for a little bit. A lot of people are not aware of what they're doing, and they're doing tremendous work and continuing to give people opportunities to get that high school diploma. Attendance rate still holding. That's important. I know if you're not in the school business, you don't get that, but just a number I watch every day, sometimes twice a day. We're still holding about 94% for the year for attendance for our students. That's outstanding with all that's going on, what we have been through with the virus and being able to manage that. And so that's a key number to watch, and we're proud of our attendance department, our administrators, and our teachers, and our parents for making sure our kids are at school. Do have a couple personnel updates. Angie Bruce has been named new assistant principal of Watertown Elementary. That position was open when we moved Kathleen Davis from assistant to the principal, so we hired her. She's come from Lebanon Special School District, the wealth of experience, so we look forward to the work she will do. You do have in your packet a copy of a 5-year capital outlay plan. I just want to talk about that briefly. A few months ago, the board charged me with looking at this, and as you can see, you have that, and I know you may have some questions. I'll be glad to answer. Do want to stress one thing: these numbers are just numbers at this point. Until you bid it, you don't know what the stuff's going to cost, and especially now with we're finding getting product and it is difficult. So these are just numbers. They're not set in stone. It's just numbers we had to go with before I could give the board something to look at. Counting year one is what we're in now, due to the fact that we're already knocking off a lot of those projects, and we'll be in first year looking at a couple more of those. Year two, you have some renovations to Lakeview Elementary and Mount Juliet Middle. And also looking at deciding in year two what to do at Watertown Middle, whether remodel or replace. I really want to look at the cost of remodeling. I think there's some things we could do there on site that would help us moving forward with that. Year three, you notice nothing as far as building wise. And then year four, a new Southwest Elementary, and when you look at those, we just put names down to identify parts of the county. Of course, we would name our schools something different, but we do have a need for an elementary. We got a couple needs for elementary right now based on our numbers. And then you have a year five pushed out to possibly a new middle school and a new high school if these numbers keep going where they're going. Please understand, on a 5-year plan, those can change. A downturn in the economy could change that drastically, but also one or two of these 500 to 700 home subdivisions could change that drastically too and move something and cause us to have to look in a little another direction. So please understand that. You see the maintenance outlay plan. That's something that I think is important. And I've charged Michael within our budget to do some of that. Some of this in the maintenance outlay plan and the roofing outlay plan. We're going to take care of some of that within our budget. If you remember back this budget year, the agreement was made on our needs assessment, what we would do on roofs. We've already started that one. We got to bid and opened it, and we'll be moving to that this spring. So some of this we will take care of. Some of this, there's one in there for Watertown Middle. Of course, if you're renovating, you would not do that one. But we've got to make sure we keep up our roofs. That's one of our biggest costs, and it's constant, is dealing with these roofs. And to be honest, we're behind on that, but we've got a 5-year plan that we think could correct that and get us back on par for course. Again, these are just estimates. We're not asking for this amount of money. There's no agreement, but this is what the vision I have of what we need to do to try and manage this growth that we're seeing 5 years out. If we get done with the report, I'll be glad to answer any questions on that 5-year plan. Construction updates. Our Stoner Creek had a construction meeting there this past week. They're pouring footers and laying block. Walls are coming up on Stoner Creek, so exciting time there, and they're moving right along. We'd like to thank Mount Juliet, City of Mount Juliet allowed us to work after hours, so you're going to see a lot of work go on there at night, especially as we get into the summer. Pouring the concrete and all, a lot of that will be done at night, so thank them for working with us on that. Portables, we're hoping to have students in our portables when we come back the 4th. Really, since this report's been put in your packet, the only thing we're really waiting on is our ramps, and the company will be here next week along with our maintenance department. The ramps are there. We've got all the hardware, and we'll hopefully be putting our ramps in, and those students will be moving some of them out of Stoner Creek. That will help where we doubled up some rooms. That's a very important piece of this puzzle. At Gladeville, we're still waiting on just a couple of things there, but we think that first week back we'll be using portables at Gladeville Elementary as well. West Wilson Middle, we're in design phase. We met on that this week. Just had a brief meeting looking at what we're looking at doing there. Once we get that, the board gets it approved, then of course we will come here and present that to the commission. All did include basketball season. Me being an old basketball coach, you can't beat Tuesday and Friday night, and the popcorn's popping and kids are out there competing. So you have home schedules for all of our schools that will be participating, and encourage, if you get an opportunity, to please visit them. They would appreciate it, and I think you'll be impressed with products on the floor. Any questions?
Do I have a motion to approve the report first?
Motion.
Second.
Commissioner Patton?
Mr. Luttrell, I want you to know that Watertown Middle School girls are 15-0.
They are. Got a lot of good young players sitting out there at Watertown right now.
Mr. Gentry?
Yeah, you say we get in 200 extra. Do any of the students that are here leave?
We do have some that leave, but what we look at is end of year, and we're still.
Well, I understand
yeah.
we're increasing all the time.
We get a few that leave, but not to have 200 new students in this time of year. That's really shows what's happening.
Thank you.
Commissioner Stafford?
Yes, sir, Mayor. Last Friday, Mr. Director Luttrell and I attended a seminar that the governor was holding in Dixon County. So you better get ready, guys, because it's coming. So I think I'm gonna try to get together and have a joint meeting with the budget, the education, and school board members about the new things that are coming down from the governor's office regarding the school system.
And that was in regards to state funding. Thank you, Stafford, for going with me. If you know, it looks like in legislation they're looking at doing away with the funding formula that we've operated for 30 years, BEP, creating a new funding formula. And still, I think it's in preliminary stages. We got some information. I made a comment in the meeting. Until we know exactly what their plan is, it's hard to really make a comment. But it's going to be interesting, and we will be, when we get more information. I think it'll be important for us to get with the Board of Ed and have a joint meeting and look at and get you that information that we have as to what that could look like and what that's meaning. You're going to hear a lot about in that of the money following the student. They did talk about a minimum across the state for what state money, and there's a lot of questions. Is that state and local combined, or is that state then local? What I could tell looks like they're leaning toward 2 to 3 years of staying status quo, and then looking at what the local would be expected to do after that. As that information comes, I will be glad to get it for you. Also, thinking about tornado damage, I think we can all agree, wow. Watertown, or Mount Jude Elementary, we had 3 units picked up, set off the building. Of course, I think our insurance is going to take care of that. And then we did have some minor damage to some roofs, just leaks. We had crews cleaning as late Sunday night, trying to be ready to go Monday before we'd had some roofs that leaked during that. Any other questions?
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed? Thank you, Director.
Thank you.
Report from the Public Works Committee, Commissioner Weathers. Agriculture Management, Commissioner Scruggs. Ag Center Management. Did you just say no report? You're good? Yes, sir, good. Animal Control, Commissioner Marlowe.
No report.
Audit, Commissioner Rich. No report. Audit, Commissioner Rich. No report. Cable Tax, Commissioner Franklin.
Yeah, the Cable TV Committee met Wednesday, November 3rd, up here in this upstairs conference room. We're working to recommend a new Comcast franchise contract. It could be coming to the County Commission in a couple of months for ratification. I make a motion these minutes are received and filed.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Development Tourism, Commissioner Vanatta.
Yes, Development Tourism Committee met on Tuesday, December the 7th, in the upstairs conference room. I move that the minutes be received and filed.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ethics, Commissioner Ash. Finance, Commissioner Gentry.
No report.
Health and Recreation, Commissioner Patton.
No report.
Insurance, Commissioner Ash. Judicial, Commissioner Glover.
Judicial met November 9th and also December 6th. The minutes are in your packet. Move that they be received and filed.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed? Planning and Zoning, Commissioner Rich. No report? No report. Redistricting, Commissioner Ash. Rules, Commissioner Gentry.
No report.
Urban Type Facility Board, Commissioner Scruggs.
Motion.
Motion second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. And opposed? Finance Director's Report, Mr. Aaron Maynard. I will let you know this, that I got a call last night from Greenville, Tennessee, a group that had put together some toys and bedding and stuff for tornado victims, and called and wanted to know that we have a place for a need here. This 53-foot trailer that they were willing to bring up here. We did not have a need. I called Captain Tyler Chandler. Didn't have anything. I called a neighboring county, and today when we came in, we were able to get a hold of Dixon County, and they took one tractor trailer load, and then we also Bowling Green, Kentucky, the PIO there knows you, Miss Vanatta, and myself as well. Debbie Highland, she's there right now, and so they took one as well. So we were able to pass those goods along, and just want to kind of fill you in on that. Thank you.
So many of you come to the Budget Committee meetings now that I wonder if I'm saying the same thing to the same group. So I have a rare opportunity to give the County Commission a gift for Christmas, which is silence. So unless you have any questions for me, that concludes my report.
Do I have a motion?
I do have a
Second.
question.
Second.
Okay, now Commissioner Glover.
Just been hearing some things. Are we good as far as the COVID money that we gave out to the employees?
Yes, we're good. We're going at it from two different angles. The first angle we're going at it from is premium pay. We're going to get everything qualified under premium pay that we can get qualified under premium pay. Anything that we can't get qualified under premium pay, we're going to get qualified under revenue loss. So I'm still confident that we're going to be okay under either scenario, whether it falls under premium pay or under revenue loss. I feel like we'll be fine. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Smith?
When will the final rule finally be the final rule? Do we know?
So we had a webinar with Katz and Binkley, and there is some speculation now that there will not be a final rule.
The reason I'm asking, I know we've covered a few things like we've covered out of our capital projects like the radio system, also
Yes.
COVID money for employees. I just want to make sure that it's going to be.
I feel like everything we've done so far is going to be reimbursable. It's a matter of how we go about submitting what we've done. Certainly, we're going to try to send it. I'm working with a consultant from Quill. Dawn Kupfer is her name. We're also going to be working with, and now the name eludes me, I just said it.
Horn Group.
Horn Group, yeah, we're also going to be working with the Horn Group, so we're going to get as much approval, as much blessing as we can on every single item, that gets sent up.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
And he said Katz and Binkley, but you meant the Horn Group, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Commissioner Ash?
You just briefly tell them about the insurance part of our finance and who's in charge.
Oh, yeah. As y'all know, Miss Debbie Green retired. Holly is taking Debbie's spot as the director of benefits. Holly will do a great job. We've been fortunate the last two employees that have left us with quite a bit of notice that they were going to be leaving. So people were able to train and learn for quite an extended period of time. In addition, Shelley has moved up under Holly to assume some more responsibilities, and then we have the new lady, Miss Christy Taylor. I am very confident in their ability to do the job. We've been meeting the last few days about sort of some things I want them to do. So I'm very happy with the transition, and we're certainly going to miss Miss Debbie. She's been a fixture here for a long time and has certainly done a great job for us.
Hope to do a resolution for our next month.
Hope so too. Yes, sir. That'd be nice.
Any other questions for Mr. Maynard?
Motion be received and filed.
Second.
Got both of those already. All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, Mr. Maynard. Report from the Budget Committee, Commissioner Marlowe.
Budget Committee met in regular session Thursday, October the 9th in the commission room. Minutes are in your packet. I move they be received and filed.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor, any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed? Commissioner Marlowe.
Resolution 21-12-2 to authorize the exercise by Wilson County of certain powers granted to municipalities under Tennessee Code Annotated with respect to regulations of nuisance and other practices detrimental to the inhabitants of Wilson County.
Motion.
Second.
I got a motion and second. Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Going to take two-thirds vote. Please cast your vote. Commissioner Keith, all hearts and minds good with your vote. Please record. 17 yes, 3 noes, 5 absent, so that would be two-thirds. Thank you, sir. Okay. Move on, sir.
Resolution 21-12-3 to amend the budget and appropriations resolution to make an additional appropriation to building inspector, excuse me.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
I have something on that one.
Yes, sir.
I talked to Tom earlier today. I apologize. I meant to let Wendell know. They, planning and zoning actually approved 6,000 instead of 4,500. So they asked us to pull this one and they'll bring it back next month.
Do you hear a motion to pull it?
Motion.
Second. All in favor say aye. And opposed?
Resolution 21-12-4 to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an additional appropriation from the data processing fees reserve into circuit court.
Motion.
Second. Got a motion and second. Any discussion now? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Stafford? All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 20 yes, 5 absent. Resolution passes.
Resolution 21-12-5, to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an additional appropriation from capital projects funds into election commission.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Robinson? Okay. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 20 yes, 5 absent. Resolution passes.
Resolution 21-12-6, to reflect revenues received but not included in the original budget, and to amend the budget and appropriations resolution to make an additional appropriation to the Expo Center.
Motion.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Stafford?
This thing is not.
All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. Resolution passes.
Resolution 21-12-7, to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an additional appropriation to Health Department.
Motion.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 20 yes, 5 absent. Resolution passes.
Resolution 21-12-8, to amend the budget and appropriation resolution for line items and category transfers in juvenile services.
Motion to approve.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Stafford. Commissioner Glover, could you help her, please?
Please.
All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. Resolution passes.
Resolution 21-12-9, to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an appropriation to the PEG channel.
Second.
Any discussion?
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why wasn't this put in the consent agenda? It's only $750. I thought anything under 2,500 was supposed to. I'm good.
Got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote.
I took care of it this time.
Thank you, sir. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. Resolution passes.
Resolution 21-12-10, to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an appropriation from general fund to Sheriff's Department.
Motion.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Costley? All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. Resolution passes.
Resolution 21-12-11, to reflect revenues received but not included in the original budget, and to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an additional appropriation to Sports Authority.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. Resolution passes.
Resolution 21-12-12, to amend the budget and appropriation resolution for line item transfer to WEMA.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. Resolution passes.
Resolution 21-12-13, to reflect revenues received but not included in the original budget, to amend the budget and appropriation resolution, to make an additional appropriation to WEMA.
Motion.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Weathers, Commissioner Glover. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. Resolution passes.
Resolution 21-12-14, to amend the budget and appropriation resolution by approving Wilson County Board of Education Budget Amendment 2022-06.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. Resolution passes.
Resolution 21-12-15, authorizing Wilson County to join the state of Tennessee and other local governments as participants in the Tennessee State Subdivision Opioid Abatement Agreement and approving the related settlement agreements.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. Resolution passes. Any old business to come before this body? Commissioner Robinson.
There's just a couple of things that I would like to say to folks tonight. This is a wonderful time of year, but I think there's some things that we need to remember at this time of year. One of them is we need to remember all the families affected by the tornado. I have a very dear friend that lives in Mayfield, Kentucky. I've been there several times, and I was concerned about trying to locate her. Finally did. She said they're okay, but of course Mayfield is destroyed. We need to remember the families that have lost our loved ones in 21. We need to keep them in mind as we go through this. And for me, as always, we need to always remember our military, and we need to always remember the families that some of these children and their boys and girls, I call them children because I have one, that will not be home for Christmas. So we need to make sure that we keep our military and these families in our minds and our hearts.
Well said. Commissioner Patton?
Yes, and to further elaborate on what Commissioner Robinson said, you all know that my family goes to Reelfoot Lake at least twice a year. We've been going past 30 years, and it is completely demolished. There are 3 towns there that they are just completely flattened: Dresden, Sandburg, and parts of Tiptonville. The actual resort we stay at, the very place that we stay at, was just completely flattened. And so I'd like you all to remember them in your thoughts and prayers as well.
Commissioner Vanatta?
Yes, I'd want everyone to look at their cards. Gail and Jason with tourism got together and did this for the convention they went to in Louisiana this past fall. And I asked her to order me some that I could give to you all. So I want you to know this did not come out of their budgets. I paid for all of them. So enjoy your cards. It says meet in the middle and the expo center on the front. I just think they're wonderful, and I don't want you to think that Gail just took it out of her budget. I paid for them. And Merry Christmas to everyone.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Ash?
I don't know who I'm the recipient of this from, but if they come by and see me, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. And any new business to come before this body? Commissioner Patton?
Well, it's probably not news business, but I was wondering, do you have any updates on the pay study?
They are in deep study right now.
You hadn't heard anything from them?
No, they're pulling the numbers. I do know that. I checked on it yesterday.
Okay.
Anything else?
Somebody
Commissioner-
put this iPad here, it's not mine, it was on my desk. And
Okay.
I know Commissioner Kurtz is not here tonight, so you might want to check it out and see whose it is.
Okay. Commissioner Glover, thank you so much for helping Commissioner Stafford, and I'll take one more motion to adjourn. We are adjourned.